Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Lyle with the Viking Speaks. So I just had to take a moment to share kind of this simple but effective little epiphany I had. Okay, so the world is kind of crazy right now, and it has been for a while. But you have to ask yourself, is it really crazy, or are we just finding out more that's already been going on forever? Whatever your belief is on that, do you. But in the craziness, a lot of people out there have amassed mountains of debt, mass depression, anxiety, fear of the unknown, and it's a mental block. And I'm grateful right now because this morning I had a friend of mine, he sent me a small clip from Tony Robbins on the Dr. Oz show, and simple ways to eliminate negative thought in your day-to-day life, physical activities that actually take just a moment and completely change your physiology to affect your emotional state. So really grateful for that because, tools are the only way to improve a situation. So the right tools for the job make the job better. And your job right now in this new year, as we continue to move forward, is to be better than you were last year and to make 2021 the year to win. I see all these memes and jokes about, watch out, y'all, 2020 just turned 21. She's about to get crazy. Well, I can go both ways. So you can either use these tools, improve your life, and conquer, or you can continue to allow depression, anxiety, fear of the unknown, all these negative thoughts, this negative feedback loop is talked about in the hilarious book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. You can allow the negative feedback loop to own your day-to-day life and thought process. And I'm guilty of this. I am guilty of allowing the negative thought feedback loop just to constantly plague my mind. And I've gotten better over time at recognizing these things. The one thing I have to do is get better at learning when to keep my mouth shut. My goodness. Sometimes you get in this state where you just go and you have this unbridled, I wouldn't say passion, but just stubbornness, refusal to admit that, dude, this isn't really you. You're allowing fear, anxiety, insecurity to win right now. So taking a moment to be grateful for the people in your life that they're put there for a reason, okay? And I needed that tool today. Just like last night, I had a conversation with someone. Hold on. All right, sorry, I had to pay my toll. Anyway, these people are put in your life for a reason. So I had a lady last night I was talking to. And there's going to be people in your life that you just don't agree with, the things they do and how they live their life, because hey, maybe it doesn't match your moral principles and it really irritates the hell out of you. Okay, got it. I am 100% on board with that idea. But she mentioned something that gave me a moment to pause, and then she brought up a point about when I had a conversation with my son. And learning something has little to do with age, life situation, monetary value, even morals, political affiliations, you name it, especially with the day the world's charged so politically. You have to have a willingness to keep an open mind to learning from others. You know, if we were all knowing beings, this would be a pretty easy and boring existence, right? So if you take a moment to breathe, stand up, use those little tools, and you know what, I'll put a link to that video in the description here. I mean, it's simple, it's silly, you might not like it, but watch it, it's helpful. And you know, take a moment to conquer that negative feedback loop and really evaluate the message. So I did. And as a result, I had to come back and apologize for my stubborn ass, brash behavior, because I was being a stubborn fool and allowing my negative thought processes to win. Instead of pulling myself out, being strong enough to recognize that, dude, you're doing it again. It took someone with a different way of looking at things to pull me out. So the whole point of starting this video today was I didn't really mean to get on this tangent, but I'm glad I did. But I also wanted to talk to you about the money side of things. So monetarily, I know there's a lot of you out there, including myself, who have been through hell financially this past year and maybe years prior to, and maybe you're still going through it. And things are hard, and there's a lot of fear and anxiety that comes along with it, you know, the what ifs. Guys, you can't control the what ifs. All you can do is control your actions in the day-to-day to dominate what happens as a result. Take massive action. So if you take a look at your bank account, right? Once upon a time, money used to be a physical thing. Currency used to be physical, and it was backed by the gold standard. Well, we know in the 70s, the gold standard was eliminated and our currency is backed by paper. So even less than that now, the value of the paper side of things is that it's been eliminated to a point that money in your account, it's purely a number. And when you learn that, when you realize that, when you truly take into account that the money that comes in and out of your life is purely numbers, and you look at that, money is incredibly important. Do not mistake that. But how you see money is more important. And how you see the numbers in your account is vital. So I had kind of this holy shit epiphany this morning. Like, look, stop worrying about the numbers in your account. I've been through this period of time where, man, I was broke, and I was more than just broke. I had a negative balance for a while for the first time in years. Years. And funny enough, I'm grateful for it. Isn't that weird? Yeah, I know this video's gone a little longer, but stay with me. I am grateful for the struggle I've been put through, because it kind of helped me just come over this little hill. And realistically, it's just a small hill. It isn't this mountain. It's nothing else. I mean, there are people out there with it so much worse than I've had. So realistically, coming to this idea that, let's say you're not like a super achiever and everything, and you don't want to go be a millionaire, multimillionaire, billionaire, whatever. All right, cool. Then what do you want? If you want to have, let's say, $5,000, for example. If you want to have a baseline of $5,000 in your checking account and never go below that, and then have no less than 6 months of your bills at a minimum in your savings account, plus have a 3-month emergency fund in your savings. You can check in your savings right there. It's what you've probably got about 9 months to a year's worth of money in there. Okay, well, simplify that. What do you have to do in order to get that? Do you need to reduce expenses? Do you need to just take a finer look at how you spend your money? Do you need to increase income? There's really not a whole lot of options when you look at what you can do. So simplify the what to define the how. So for me, I know I needed to do both 2 out of 3 things. I needed to reduce some expenses, get control of what comes out, as well as increase income, and for me, my goal is to build a multi-million-dollar business. So, whether you like him or not, Grant Cardone said something the other day that really kind of struck a nerve, and it makes sense. If you're trying to build $1 million business, you need to set your goal to be 10 million. Because if you only hit 10% of your goal, all right, you're a millionaire. Congratulations. So if you want to have $5,000 as a baseline in your checking account, and I mean this seriously, if you want to have $5,000 as your baseline and never go below that, then you need to make your goal 50. Now think about the amount of effort it's going to take to hit 50 grand as your baseline in your checking account. Sounds absurd, right? Majority of folks out there in the US and the world, really, that just seems kind of crazy. But the amount of effort it would take you, if you really put your time in to hit that, well, you're going to blow past 5,000 as your baseline. And you're going to have your savings account built to the way you want it. And even more so, if you have debts, now they'll be gone. I'll give you a quick tip. If you have a mountain of debt that you want gone, stop focusing on debt. Your subconscious doesn't understand the difference between pay off debt and accumulate debt or keep debt. It just hears the word and the feeling associated to debt. And as a result, you'll maintain it. But if you focus on how do I increase income, or just there focus on income as a whole, boom, your entire thought process changes and you're going to be geared towards building massive income and changing your life. So anyway, hope this wasn't too terribly long for y'all and you got something out of it. I'll talk to you later tonight. Much love. Backing out.